welcome back. I'm Dr. Anna Marie.
And I'm Cortney McDermott.
And today, this is an exciting topic.
Yes.
We're talking about wealth consciousness.
Yeah. And we just wrapped on health before this, the episode before this. We just also got out of a warm sauna. Speaking of health, it's chilly out here. And yes, we're coming today with wealth.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say people are funny when it comes to money. But the wealth that we're discussing today, the wealth consciousness, it goes beyond just the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I ever really truly got that until over the last few years of stepping into more wealth consciousness versus trying to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of wealth consciousness, what comes up for you around that?
Well, you see a lot of people with a lot of money in their accounts that don't have wealth consciousness. And then you see some people who maybe don't have very much in their accounts, but they have massive amount of wealth consciousness. And then you can kind of see everywhere in between.
Yes.
And that's very telling, because it's exactly what you were saying a moment ago, that wealth is not just about the dollars in the account or the euros or the yen or whatever it is your currency is. Mm-hmm. It transcends that. It's about, again, that sort of deep inner connection, the knowing that you possess all that is, in a way, and that at the same time, that knowing and that type of recognition is also what allows you to know that at the same time, nothing, you possess nothing. And it's all, and that sort of empty, that beautiful emptiness is a space of constant creativity and movement of the truest kinds of wealth, the truest kinds of wealth through your being. Yeah.
I was in this class once, and it was a breathwork class, and the instructor, last name was Crimmy. I think his first name was Paul. Anyways, at the end, he did this heart-opening prayer. And I really love one of the lines in it. And it is, I own nothing in this world. Everything that I own is contained in my heart. And it is that reminder that we really don't own anything in this world. And everything is like all of our experiences, everything we have within us, and we do have it in our heart. And I think that's beautiful. And I think that when we get that, the dollars, the euros, the yen, it can all come in too. Simultaneously, we can have both, but I think we don't have that beautiful consciousness when we're seeking it all or nothing. Like when that's our only focus is the dollar, the euro, the yen.
Yeah.
And whatever else currency,
so many,
right?
So many,
I mean, I know more people are going to hear this than just people in America. So I'm forgive me if I don't know your currency. But there's, if we're only focused on that, we lose the true amazing essence of true wealth.
Yes. Richness of every kind and the replenishment of everything all the time. And the knowing that that's always available to you.
Yeah.
That is what can never be taken away. It can never be detracted. It can never be subtracted. It reminds me of a story that I really love to share around wealth consciousness. And you've probably heard me tell this story. It's about this wandering mystic. And this man runs up to him and says, give me the stone, give me the stone. And the mystic's, sort of taken aback. And he says, what stone? He says, I had a dream last night. Krishna came to me in a dream. And he said that if you gave me the stone you're carrying, I'll be the richest man in the world. And so the mystic rummages in his bag, and he pulls out the largest diamond ever seen. And he gives it, he says, this is what you want. And the man, very greedily says, yes, this is that's what I want. And the mystic says, sure, take it. And the man runs away with this stone, and he's so excited that he has this stone, and he's running, and all of a sudden he stops. And he sits down, and he muses on this exchange for a moment. And he makes his way back to the mystic, and he says, "Here, take the stone back. Can you give me the riches that made it possible for you to give this away so freely?" That's true wealth.
Yeah.
That's true wealth. You don't own it. You're passing here. It's all passing. Where are the riches in you? Find the riches in you. Find what helps you remember that. And you will never go another day in your life wanting or in scarcity, ever.
Yeah. That's like, that story is so much. It's so much. And it's like, and it is like, wow. And if we reflect, our own personal experiences, where have we shown up like that in our life? Or where have we shown up, being the mystic? And where have we shown up being that other man? I've been both.
Yeah.
Definitely been both.
Yeah.
And, I think the most beauty comes in when you are being more of the mystic, because when I started to really let go and trust and just know that I'm completely 100,000% provided for, what you get back is 10-fold. 10-fold. I've chased a carrot a long part of my life. It was like, okay, once I make 50,000 a year. Okay, now once I make 100,000 a year. Okay, now once I make 100,000 a month. Oh, well, when I get my first million in the bank, then I'll feel.
Yeah.
And this goes back to what we were talking about in the first episode of that inner teacher and being okay inside no matter what's going on around you. And it's really hard to do that when we're always chasing the carrot, when we think we'll feel the feeling when. It's like we get to feel it now.
Yeah. The fallacy of if then, right? Or when, the around the corner, and how success is just perennially around the corner, and you just keep chasing the next thing until you realize, man, this is dumb. Get me off the hamster wheel. Somebody, time out for a second so that you can come back again. Yeah, that those earlier episodes that we had on the inner teacher, on health consciousness, all of this is a reminder, return to the 0 point field of love within you.
Yes.
And then let it radiate out, and you will again no longer want for anything in the ways that you had known before, because you're a completely metamorphosized human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. And okay. So when it comes to wealth, and if we talk about the financial end of wealth, so hopefully you've gotten from us, especially with your story of the mystic, we're trying to really emphasize that wealth is much deeper than the dollars in the bank. But we also recognize that sometimes there's also an energy exchange with what we're putting out there, what we're giving out there. And then there's an exchange. And I think sometimes an exchange that isn't expected that happens, which is beautiful. And most often that's a really cool place. But then there's also an exchange of the work we do. Right? So when we're doing work, there's people that need time, that need attention, that need certain things from a professional standpoint. And there is an energy exchange of the dollar bill. So some people may be thinking, well, okay, I get that, but I still have bills to pay. What knowledge or what have you experienced in your life that you can share with them to help them ease up around trusting in that process that you will be provided for, and then also that you can charge what you feel that your value is?
I love this because we were having this conversation in the sauna right before about value and all of that. One thing I'll start with the value piece, and then let's circle back to, paying the bills, which is a real thing, right? And what that looks like. So the value piece, I think, is where we start at. Is the more you're devoted to uncovering that inner teacher that we talked about in episode 1, the more your value increases. Your value will increase exponentially and in proportion to the shine that you allow to come through. So the demucking that we talked about, all that kind of stuff. People think sometimes that they have to go out and they have to form some other kind of gimmick. And you and I were even talking about in the first episode about, all these New Year manifestation circles and masterminds and all the things. And I was saying how the inner jester in me was just, I just sees it as kind of a riot because it's everyone pointing you in another direction. And away from yourself
versus inward.
And so the more you understand and start to get with your innate value, the more your value in the marketplace will rise.
Yes.
There's a beautiful story. It's been attributed to Picasso and a few others, or it's been not attributed to them, but they've been the ones that they say this is about, where someone goes to Picasso, say, and they want a portrait, and it's at the end of his life. And he does this, abstract portrait of them in, I don't know, a couple minutes. Yeah. And then he gives it to them and he charges an exorbitant amount of money. And the person who goes to him says, "Hey, wait a second, that just took you a few minutes. Why are you charging so much?" And he said, "No." And he says, "No, madam, that took my entire life." So get with your value. There are things that are specific to you. There are gifts that you are given. There are talents that you were given. They were given to you for a reason. The more you uncover them and the more you develop them, the stronger you become as an asset in the marketplace. So much to a point where you are irreplaceable.
Yes.
So when people want to come and work with me, I have a 3-year waiting list for that, right? And it's like when people want to come, I'm like, yo, first, get on it. But second of all, it's like there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's not because of any promotion I did. It's not because of any gimmicky thing. It's because of who I am and because of what I transmit and because of what we can share.
Right.
And the awakening that happens in that frequency. So first thing, get with that, understand that, develop it. If someone's pointing back to you the way we are right now, the way we do when we get together, like on January 4th, when we get together with people, and there's a very clearly a transmission and entrainment happening, get with the ones that are going to remind you of your innate value and to bring out more of that. Which brings me, I want to go on the parable of the talents, but I know we're going to keep this one short. So definitely join us for that, especially if you're looking for, more in terms of wealth consciousness. But let's go back to that previous question of, okay, there's this happening and there's this moment, what I'm faced with right now.
Yeah.
And there will be very real situations that we get faced with that we have to learn this beautiful non-practice. It is a non-doing of relaxing and getting with the sensation of that which you desire. So let me give you an example from my life many, many years ago. I was living in Italy. I lived in Italy for 23 years. And I was supposed to be signing the largest retail, fashion retailer in all of Italy was coming on to be a client of mine. And I found out the day that I was supposed to have the conversation with the CEO, I found out that they were not going to hire my company. And when I found this out, a previous version of me would have kind of spun and thought of all the ways that I could get this person. This is amazing. We have a hummingbird.
Oh, it's so cool.
We have a hummingbird who just made a debut. If any of you saw that, I hope they got on camera. He was scheduled to have a call with me that day. And like I said, a previous version of me would have said, holy smokes, I got to figure this out. I got to get him on board. We have to make this work. There's so much involved, right? There's just such a big investment here for myself, for my team, for everybody. And the funny thing was, instead, that day, I learned a very powerful lesson because what I did was I timed myself out. I just sat and got with my breath. And I felt into not that specific probability outcome coming to fruition. What I felt into was fulfillment, was excitement, was expansion, was was feeling that I'm taken care of, feeling that my team is taken care of, feeling all these feelings. And I was vibrating at that pace when I stepped into the call with the CEO. And now here on a rational level, I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm good because I'm at peace. And that's the point.
Yeah,
like my second book, I go on about this because if you can get yourself in that state, no matter what's happening, you're going to be okay.
Yes.
And that's how your life should be. Okay. That's how your life should be. That's how your business should be. Anyhow, I get on this call with him, and within 5 minutes, he's already decided to shift the deal.
Talked himself back into
He has
with you.
talked himself back in. 12-month retainer with this company. Sign on the dotted line. We're good to go. Now, again, I wasn't doing that for a specific probability outcome to come to fruition. Please get that piece.
Yes.
I'm not trying to make anything happen.
Yeah.
That is BS. And we talked about that in an earlier episode.
Yes.
Get with that one because it's really key. I was feeling the feelings of the experience that I wanted to experience in any guise. I was getting with the sensation and the actual, and again, we know this and we talked about it, the signals that then I'm sending from my brain down into my body, the neurotransmitters that I'm sending into my bloodstream, getting with it, oxygenating, feeling full, feeling rich in that moment, no matter what happens. And then, of course, the natural consequences that magnetizes to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And that goes back to trusting that everything is already taken care of.
Oh, yes.
And
Trust,
you can
yes.
feel the energy of the salesman.
Mm.
You can feel
So icky.
I know. You can feel the energy of the person that is trying to grasp because they're feeling they're coming from a place of lack. And listen, I've been there. Like I have been on the struggle bus, and I have been there where I'm like, I need to make this sale. I need to do this. So it's not right or wrong. It's just the place that we're in. And what we're trying to share in our experiences is that, yes, those moments can come up, but then it's when you get into that practice of trusting that this is fine. There's something else here for me. There's another thing that's going to work out. I mean, if we all really reflect on our lives, think of like the I don't know. I'll think about the bad relationship I was in, and I thought I was going to marry this guy, and then he totally just cheated on me. Like that was such a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, right? So we, in business, sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, like that one client that got away, or I didn't get that job. When really it happened for you. It happens for us. And so now if we can like get into that, like everything is happening for me, it's all good. Like, and like you said, relaxing into it and being in that high vibrational frequency of acceptance. And I know there's more if it wants to show up, and if it's not more, okay. But like I'm taken care of is like, it's so good. I want to share with you guys the story I was telling you in the sauna.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this was so funny. So spoke at this conference the other day, and after I got done speaking, this lady came up to me and she was like, I know I need to work with you. I have to work with you. And, you know, like, how much do you charge? And, you know, the whole thing. And I told her, okay, I said, well, you know, when I work with people, I have to see if we're aligned first. And I work with you in 3-month increments. And I charge X amount. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, how often do I get to talk to you and like all the things? And I kind of explained that to her. And she goes, well, I don't need all that. I just want to be able to call you and talk to you like for 30 minutes or an hour when I need a session. I was like, yeah. I said, I don't work like that. She left, and then she came back, and she's like, well, do you give any discounts for people at this event? I'm like, no, I don't really give discounts for time with me. Like, it's not how I work. She's like, but you charge like thousands of dollars for like 30 minutes. And I'm like 30-minute sessions. And I'm like, no, I don't exchange my time for money. And she was like so perplexed. And the whole point of what I was sharing with her is, number one, it's about, like you said, the transmission. Like, I've spent hundreds of dollars for a coach. I've spent thousands of dollars with a coach. And honestly, the amount of money didn't predict the outcome. It was what that coach could provide in that transmission and how it helped me that made all the difference. And so I told her to start with my podcasts, start with my book, go from there. And it wasn't, obviously it's not aligned, but it was, the old me would have tried to figure out a way to cut my prices and give her a deal so I could retain a client. And I'm not there anymore, because I get to choose who I want to work with, because there is that energy exchange. And it was such a funny moment. I mean, and it was great because my assistant Eliana was like right there, and she's like witnessing in real time. And she was like, that was so cool how you did that. Like, you were so nice, and just so, like, she was like, and it was because you could see these light bulbs going on in her head. Anyway, she came back a third time, and she just shared with me, she goes, I want to be like you when I grow up. Like, you didn't discount yourself. You literally just, like, weren't going to budge on that. And I was like, I don't need to, because I know my value. And that's exactly what we're trying to share with you guys, is knowing your value. And sometimes it shows up in dollars, and sometimes it shows up, it shows up in many different ways. Yeah.
Love it.
Any last minute words for everyone before we move on?
Simply that wealth is a consciousness. It's a consciousness, and there's an embodiment to it. And I have so much in this. I've so much invested in this conversation. And we're going to talk about conversations in our next episode in communications. But I have so much invested in it, because that's where people start to, again, have that reflected back to them, how much they've shifted, how much they've changed, how their frequency is at a different place. And therefore, again, aligning or calling back the match to that. You know, one of the things that comes up for me, and that we'll talk about in our seminar on January 4th, is attuning to it. You know, attuning to it. You're an instrument. You're electric and you're magnetic, and you are an instrument. And if you're in a different key than the one you're trying to, to have sound out in the world, then you have to tune yourself to the right key to be able to play in that key, right? So, so this is one of the things that I think is the most powerful way for people to start seeing their power.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited that we get to share in that, we get to play in that playground. I mean, we're really inviting people to play in this playground of knowing that you are it.
You're it.
You're it.
Within you.
So, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. People are funny when it comes to money. So it's so fun when the light bulbs go on, and people let go of all the programs they've had around that and step into that value of who they are and the being of who they are. And it's, I get so excited. I mean,
too.
You
so excited.
Like all your clients that all the things that our clients achieved that they had dreamed of.
Yeah.
That was always within them. To see that come to fruition, that is so much. That brings so much wealth, to me and my spirit, because I get so excited when they unlock that.
Yeah,
it's so cool. So,
me too.
All right, we are so glad you showed up today, and we're gonna be back for another episode.
See ya.